Atlanta Business Chronicles Biz. Sponsored by Georgia Power and Go Beyond Profit.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. We begin with headlines. Starbucks will serve up as many as 500 jobs when it opens a regional headquarters in Midtown. The Seattle-based coffee giant is expected to pour $16 million into its new office here. Officials haven't said exactly where its Atlanta headquarters will be, but real estate insiders say Starbucks could consider the redevelopment of the former Kroger on Ponce de Leon next to Ponce City Market. And another potential site could be the new T3 office building at Atlantic Station. The online music streaming company Pandora seems to like the sound of a Midtown address. It'll put its southeast headquarters in the Campanile Tower near the intersection of Peachtree and 14th Street. Earlier this year, the company said that by moving some operations to Atlanta from its headquarters in Oakland, California, it could save as much as $45 million a year. Pandora says it could create 250 jobs in Atlanta, many of those positions tied to software development and engineering. Arby's parent company Inspire Brands is cooking up plans for a new headquarters in Sandy Springs. It'll invest $32 million developing what it calls its global support center. It'll be the hub for Inspire and its portfolio of restaurants, which include Arby's, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Our Taco. The new headquarters could generate 1,100 jobs. Atlanta-based Graphic Packaging, a company that makes everything from cereal boxes to soft drink packages, has agreed to buy Latika Corporation. It'll shell out $95 million for the company that makes cups and cartons for the food service sector. The city of Atlanta would have to invest $1 billion to put a dent in the demand for affordable housing. The House ATL task force found it'll take that much money to fund 24,000 affordable housing units in Atlanta over the next 8 years. Last month, members of the task force visited Seattle to see how that city is trying to ensure there's a supply of lower-priced homes. The House ATL task force will release its recommendations next week at the Atlanta Regional Housing Forum. The U.S. Mint and National Park Service launched a new quarter last week. This one has a Georgia tie. It honors the Cumberland Island National Seashore. The new coin is the 44th in the Mint's America the Beautiful Quarters program. That's a 12-year initiative that honors dozens of national parks and other national sites. Coca-Cola could soon go head-to-head with Starbucks. It's agreed to buy Costa Coffee for $5 billion. Costa is the world's second-largest coffee chain behind Starbucks. It's based in the UK. Costa Coffee has about 4,000 stores in dozens of countries. Coke CEO James Quincy says the deal moves Coke closer to becoming a total beverage company. If regulators and shareholders approve the transaction, it could be completed early next year. Well, Labor Day marks the unofficial end of summer. Before we close out the season, we thought we'd show you some vacation pics. Not ours, yours. We reached out to some of the metro area's executives to find out what they did and where they went. Their summer travels took them from Paris to the Pacific and beyond. Commercial real estate developer Egbert Perry saw the ancient ruins of Egypt. Atlanta International School headmaster Kevin Glass took his family of 5 wilderness rafting down the River of No Return in Idaho. And there's former Metro Atlanta Chamber President Sam Williams and his wife Nancy holding a hawk in Ireland.